Today's episode is presented by Lodestar, the fee experts.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Lending Leaders. As always, we're closing out our year with our wonderful CEO and co-founder, Jim Paolino. I almost said James for some reason.
Okay.
And our equally amazing / better dressed CTO and co-founder, David Spektor. So welcome, guys.
Hello.
Dave, what's your level of excitement when we keep dragging you into these?
What's a scale?
That's like 1 to 10. 10 being like incredibly excited.
I'd solid 2.
Okay.
A solid 2?
I'll take it. Yeah. It's like, that's part of like our continued success is continuing to torture you with this a little bit.
I like constantly am trying to think of like new ridiculous things to say or do, and I'm just blanking every time. So I feel like at least there's something to look forward to.
That's right. We have some good questions. We have some good questions for you, though. So.
So as we kick off today, something we did, we always record this at our director's retreat that we do.
Mm-hmm.
By retreat, I mean, everyone just comes to our office in Conchi and we eat tacos normally.
Pretty much what happens. Occasionally some margaritas still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But one thing Jim asked yesterday that we thought would be really good to share is your word to summarize 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go first and then I'll let you guys share. So my word for the year was just independence, which is the word I started this year with. And I think we've done a really good job from a marketing and sales perspective, really talking about how we're an independent company and we really pride ourselves on that, and also talking about the flexibility it provides us in the market, especially, with the year we've seen. So
that's something we've been really grateful for this year, with kind of different things that we've seen, how we've seen the market react, and us being able to make decisions on our own, independent of anything else is really important.
Yeah.
Is there a word for 2024 yet?
Not yet. I'm going to announce it in January.
Okay, good. Mine was progress. It's been a tough industry right now, but I've been really happy about our company's progress, what we've been doing, my personal progress as a leader, and just feel like it's been a real setting the foundation type year for things going forward.
But before I get to that, Adobe releases a color of the year every year. I don't know. I think you might have sent it to...
I haven't seen it yet, actually. I haven't paid enough attention.
It's Peach Fuzz.
It's Pantone, actually.
Pantone, yeah.
Pantone does it.
Yeah. Correct. And our part of our kind of product team's yearly kind of decision is we're going to start putting in that color of the year hidden in some of our products. For the entire year.
So we're going to have some secret Peach Fuzz?
Peach Fuzz. It's going to be somewhere in there. We don't know where.
Do you just recode it out for the next year? Is it an easy to change thing?
Yes.
Do we have to tell the company of you will see Peach Fuzz somewhere? Please find it.
I mean, yeah, it could be a good fun scavenger hunt. If someone messages you and they found it, there won't be a prize or anything, but
we can give a prize. We can give a prize.
If you find Peach Fuzz in our product in 2024, email me at agardner@LS Solutions, and we will buy you a coffee.
Yeah.
That feels very fair.
I was going to say tell our company internally too, but either way.
Either way.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fair.
I like it.
So the word of the year, I went with complicated before. I think I'm sticking with it. Personally, I had a lot of changes, and the company grew in a way that was strong, but because of the market, it was difficult. I don't know. I feel very mixed emotions about 2023. Yeah, company wise and personal life. I guess all good.
You end up saying hectic at some point too. I feel like that was very much
hectic.
The year
crazy.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
I mean, I think how about the ice acquisition with Black Knight, right? That's probably gonna be one of the big things that marks everyone's calendar that's in this industry.
It's true. Yeah. They go through, see what happens.
The buyer
the NAR ruling that we did a podcast about. Huge, there's definitely a lot of things a lot of changes to come. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I definitely would agree with that. So as Dave Spektor alludes to, and something we wanted to talk about on this podcast is, how do you feel about company holiday parties? Pros, cons. Obviously, I think we've all worked separate places before coming here as well. So what's your experience before and at Lodestar?
they're different now when you're the quote unquote boss for sure. I definitely approached them a lot differently when I was the office bookie basically at my old job.
I love holiday parties. I mean, I think everyone should have time to relax and enjoy,
Mhm.
hang out with your coworkers because we do work so much together, right?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to actually enjoy each other's company as well. But in my young 20s, holiday parties were so much more fun because like people were single, especially in like bigger companies. Everyone was making the worst decisions, and then the next day you get to talk about it's like, oh, what happened with Bill and
They were on
Ted?
Fridays, so it was just like debauchery.
Yeah.
There was at my old job. There was this guy, Louis Cologne, ran our billing department.
Should we be naming names?
Yeah, he's not listening to this podcast. He ran the billing department, and he would bring his own music and headphones. So everyone would be dancing. He would be dancing out of beat with his headphones to something different. Legendary, but it was
I think you definitely should name him because I think that is
Yeah.
a beautiful
Fantastic.
thing.
Fantastic move. Fun fact. One thing I've learned too, that if myself or Dave plan the party, it will not be fun. I actually tried to talk you out of having a party this year.
Yeah, and it was bad
Because we're having a big company event coming up in February. But yes, it was. I was overruled. It was the right decision.
I mean, we
overruled
went
me.
very low key, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we got tacos from the place down the street.
Yeah.
Did it in the office. Like,
What's up? Yeah.
very chill.
Well, just like a good work dinner, man. Come on.
At my previous company, people went crazy, and this
Yeah.
guy, he was in his like late 20s,
Mhm.
and he was already married and had a kid.
Yeah.
Definitely should have known better at this point.
Yeah.
They got drunk and they like disappeared, and the next day he comes in and he has a bandage on his hand. I'm like, what happened?
Oh, no.
He got the worst tattoo. Like, I'm not against tattoos, but the tattoo itself was just very, very bad quality, and it was a skull on his hand.
Oh,
And
no.
he was a client-facing role, so he'd meet clients all the time.
Yeah.
His wife was furious.
Oh, that's not
Yeah,
good.
no.
Yeah.
I just never get a tattoo drunk.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I am,
Yeah.
just don't do it. That feels like a fair piece of advice.
Yeah. No, I think generally company events and company parties go a long way because people want to see people. They want to have like get together. They want to bring significant others. Like they are super important. And like I've said before, you get a lot of bang for your buck and those types of things.
Yeah.
Like, I hate when people say like,
But never make it mandatory.
yeah, work isn't like a family. Like that's not like that's a couple. Like I don't believe in that. But
Yeah, I
you
agree.
do spend so much time with these people that like I think you should be able to enjoy some of their company at least.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not have to only work with them. So
And talk about things other than work too,
Yeah.
which I don't know. I can still do a little bit better at. So.
Jim's just slightly okay.
I know
just
that
isn't a
was
work
what
meeting.
someone said after last Christmas party, and it's one of the best descriptors of me.
I love that moment.
Someone,
so much.
the wife of marketing manager said Jim was just okay that this wasn't a business meeting, and she was pretty.
She was
pretty
absolutely
accurate. So,
correct.
sorry, I love what I do, guys. Sorry, not sorry. So
Jim will talk about closing costs at a bar happily.
no, I'll talk about running a business. It's different, but yes, but that's why I'm not on our party planning committee. So
Yes.
it's a different aspect, right? I think when I was working at a different job in my 20s, I thought of Christmas parties in a much different fashion. So
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not allowed to be on the party planning committee, either of you.
Yeah, that's fine.
So sorry. It's a good time.
No, I feel very good about the team that we do have planning parties. So
well, we got Phyllis, Angela.
we have Alayna and Kelsey and Fiona who do a fantastic job.
Yes.
Especially considering you used to be a professional party planner.
Yeah, that definitely helps a
yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Nothing to do with your past.
And then you just have other people who are incredibly organized. So that helps too.
Fiona's notes are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I keep going back to it.
So one thing that I've always kind of struggled with, and this was, I grew up at a family company. My dad still runs a title company. He hates Christmas. His birthday's December 21st. He cannot stand. It's more of the Christmas season. The day or two itself is fine. I think it's the lead up. He's always he's the biggest Scrooge. We always make fun of him every year for it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, nothing can get done. You can't do any business. It's just stupid. And then he no one's happier than him on January 2nd. And like, I have a non-small part of that. I think that, especially as I get older, I realize I'm like, oh, this is the worst business time, blah, blah, blah. So I've tried to be very intentional about what you can do during this time of year, how you can leverage this time of year. The thing we've done, this will be the 3rd or 4th year, is we actually give everyone off basically about a week and a half around Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, a few days before, a few days after. So we just don't even have to attempt to do any work, right? Like, so I try to lean into it, right? And it's something that I think is appreciated.
I don't think there could be anything more Scrooge-like than saying, darn this holiday Christmas spirit, I can't make money off of it.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, a lot of people make a lot of money, first of all. It's just not if you're in corporate America.
Yeah.
As someone who used to work in events, we made about, I made triple of what I did in any other month in the month of December.
Yeah, makes sense.
So like there is a time and a place for it, but I also think, no one's doing anything the week between Christmas and New Year's. And employees have debates of, is it worth it to take time off because I'm going to go into the office and not have to do anything?
Right.
So
or
like
work from home and not have to do anything.
So like, why are we forcing people to pretend, right?
We have people we'll be checking emails. If requests come in, you will get on it. I think the joke is usually that you and I end up being the ones working more than anyone else, because we're kind of the default checkers, but that's okay.
Well, and I think too, it's a good time. Like I've seen a lot of TikToks this year of people being like, after Thanksgiving being like, okay, well now it's time to coast till the end of the year.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good time to use for the fun projects, right? Like, so like brainstorming for 2024, looking at what you want to outline, working on creative tasks. And also like, we have to look at some new technologies. We booked demos, right? Like things that necessarily you might not have time for in the day-to-day operations of your business. But when we start getting less inbound leads and we have less people saying, hey, we want to talk to you, right? And we know, or they'll push us off and say, hey, can we talk in January? Instead of trying to push those things to happen when they're not going to, we work on ourselves.
And I feel like these slow times are always busy, right? Like every year it's still like, we're like, oh, things will slow down, and it never really happens completely. One thing that I try to learn to lean into too, from like a work-life balance, is there's a couple times of year where people generally aren't working, right? If you're in hospitality, it can be different, but right around the holidays, right around Labor Day, right before Labor Day, the very end of the summer, are very, very slow, right? Take some time, use that time one way or another, whether it's relaxing, spending time with friends and family, things you need to do to, get prepared, whatever it may be, but like, lean into it being a slow time is kind of a thing I learned, because you're not really able to push through. So just use the time to your advantage, I think, is for one way or another. And rest is doing that.
Yeah. I feel like rest really allows you to come back and be refreshed and have new ideas and be excited to jump back into work, right? Like I get excited. I mean, maybe I'm a crazy person, but like I get excited to come back to work after the holidays.
Oh, I'm going to be so excited.
Like Jim bounces into the office on January 2nd. It's a real problem.
I bounce into the office most days, but but that's
a
lot of that's post daycare drop off. So
About
you bounce in when you come into the office
after break.
I do very little bouncing. My bouncing days are over.
My bouncing days are over. It's so sad.
Yeah.
We should give you some caffeine and then maybe you'd start bouncing again.
No, I do not drink caffeine. Ever.
You had a cup of tea yesterday.
Yeah, well, one cup. Okay, so
you had 30 to 40 milligrams of caffeine yesterday.
Anywho, what else?
And then I think our last question, just kind of as we wrap, is what does 2024 look like for Lodestar? Very, very wide arching questions.
Did we announce?
We have some exciting stuff we're going to announce in January. Okay. So we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Because I don't want this to be the announcement, but we will be announcing some exciting things in January. I'm probably going to make Jim and Dave both get on. We're going to start having quarterly town halls for our clients for product updates, roadmap items, providing a little bit more clarity on what we're doing here at Lodestar.
It's going to be a really interesting year. I feel like things stabilized quite a bit this year. Especially now that the Fed announced that there will be rate cuts. Three in 2024. I think we're going to see a lot of improvement in the market. I think that's going to be really helpful. I think that's really going to be great for us. Personally, I'm excited. I'm going to be on paternity leave in March. I didn't think that was your January announcement.
That is not my January announcement.
So
that's your announcement. I have nothing to do with it.
So there you go. So that'll be happening. I'm excited about my wife and I welcoming our second child. So it's going to be a busy year. It's going to be a fun year. I think a lot of good things ahead of us.
I mean, that's a big one, but there will be a lot of product integrations that are coming out with next year. Lots of LOSs being rolled out and POSs.
Yeah.
So that'll be nice.
Yeah. And a lot of Peach Fuzz.
Peach Fuzz.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Just enough. Keep ready.
What was the color? Enough. What was the color last year? Do you remember?
Something mauve. I forget exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
Jesse, our design expert, would know better.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we don't really pay too much attention to the color of the year for our side because we got our brand kit. We stick to it. Lodestar colors are Lodestar colors.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you guys all so much for watching this year. We will be off next week as Lodestar will be running limited operations, just supporting our clients. And you will see some email marketing from us. We have a really exciting, if you are working, unfortunately, on Tuesday, our Lodestar report, you should definitely open it. It's going to be a fun one. I gave our team permission to send lots of fun stuff in that email. So there might be a little less mortgage news than normal. And we will see you all back in January. I don't remember what the first Thursday in January is. I should have looked it up before we started this.
Probably the 4th. I think
the 4th feels right. Yeah, the 4th feels right. So we'll be back January 4th with our regular guests. And we'll see y'all next year.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening. Alayna, thank you for all the work you do on this podcast.
Of course. Yeah. And thank you, Dave, for being here.
Thank you, Dave.
I don't have an option.
We're going to end it on that.